Hello, is there anyone in the meeting? Am I audible? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So, okay, guys. So, where we stopped it in the last class? Routing, attribute routing, right? Okay. So, routing is two types, conventional and attribute routing is what I explained you already. I've shown your examples on attribute routing. Okay. So, today we'll focus on view creation, guys. Today we'll focus on view creation. Okay. How to create views in MVC Core. Guys, listen. How did you create your when you learned ASP.NET, ASP.NET MVC, not core. When you learned ASP.NET MVC, in how many ways can you create a view? Tell me. What are those? What are the two options? What are those? Manual scaffolding. Yeah. So now also you have the option of creating a view by using manual and scaffolding. So all these options are available to you. Second question. To create a view, to create views, we need controls. We need controls. How many options are available for us to use controls in ASP.NET MVC? in ASP.NET MVC, how many options are available for us to create the controls? Come on. In ASP.NET MVC, how many options are available for us for creating the controls? I mean, what options are given to us for control creation? Text boxes, buttons, labels. To create this, how many options do we have? LP helpers, strongly typed HTML helpers. Yeah, 3 options. Supriya, you're right. Supriya is right. HTML controls, HTML helpers, strongly typed HTML helpers. Yeah, someone said only 2 things, HTML helpers and strongly typed. No, 3 options are there. HTML controls are also available. Okay. So in ASP.NET MVC, to create controls, we can use HTML controls, HTML helpers, strongly typed HTML helpers. Okay, now, guys. Now, when you come to ASP.NET Core MVC, we have these 3 options available here. Plus, we got the 4th one, tag helpers. Did you understand that? We have 4 options now. What are the 4 options? The first 3 are as is same. And the 4th option is the tag helpers. We have the tag helpers now for creating the things now. So what are these tag helpers? Like HTML helpers and strongly typed HTML helpers are introduced in ASP.NET MVC for creating the controls. They introduced a new concept called as tag helpers. The advantage of the tag helpers is, tag helpers coding will be same like HTML controls code on. Tag helpers code will be same like HTML controls code only. How do you create a HTML text box? It will be same with the tag helpers also. So they try to simplify the coding process compared with ASP.NET MVC. So compared with ASP.NET MVC, they try to simplify the code with the help of the tag helpers. How, sir? How to use them? Okay, watch. I'll show you. To demonstrate this, let me first create a project. ASP.NET Core Web App Model View Controller. Naming it as MVC Core Tag Helpers. Location. Yeah, this is my personal folder. This is my personal PC, not personal PC, office PC. That's where we are missing with all the things. MVC 9. I'm not in the classroom. That's why I'm creating everything freshly. So .NET 7. Configure Hyper HDFS. Do not use top level elements. All I selected. Click create. Am I audible, guys? Srikanth was not able to hear. Okay, someone messaged he is not able to audible. I'm not audible. That's it. Okay. I just created one project. Let me add a controller in the project. Let me add it. Guys, last class, I have shown you empty project template and how to configure to an MVC template, right? I created empty project and configure for MVC. Okay. But right now, directly created MVC project here. That's way www root, controllers, models, views, all of them are automatically coming up here. Yeah. Home controller with a set of action methods like index, privacy, error, and also a model called error model, views, all are automatically added up here because we have gone for using a MVC project directly. Because it is an MVC project, all are automatically added. Okay, but what I said you here, a 5.0 step 1, click on the create button because it's just an empty project. Configure the project to work as an MVC application as I explained earlier. Okay, as I explained earlier, do it. Now, I wanted to show you a login operation. I want to show you a login operation. So in the models folder, I'm planning to create a class called login model. So guys, come on, in the models, let me add a model. Class. Login model. Okay, I created a login model, and in that, the login attributes I want to define. What? Email. I'm using an annotation email address. Password. I'm using an annotation password. Remember me. All the three. Going forward in the latest version, you require to suffix question mark beside the strings. You learned in C# classes already, just a question mark. Nothing happens if you don't write, you'll get a warning. So to avoid that, simply use a question mark. Okay, fine. So you're just gone for a model class. You added a model class. What next? The next thing is I'm adding a controller called as account controller. So go to controllers, add controller. We'll name the controller as account controller. I want to write a method view result, login. Return view. Simple code, guys. I'm writing a method called login, return view. So now I want to add a view for this. Okay, let's create a view for this. Right click, add view. Raster view empty. Guys, have a look. Raster view empty. Click on the add button. What is the name? Login.cshtml. Click on the add button. Okay. Empty Raster view has been added. Now here, what's my plan is, I want to import my model. You know how to import @model? MVC tag helpers dot models dot login model. We imported it. Guys, while importing, we always write this code. What's it? The namespace name. The namespace name. Remember, in MVC5, every time we want to import, we are just going to write this code. To simplify that, what is the other option? On the top of it, I said you can write @ using, and then you can say MVC tag helpers.models. Are you clear? @ using, you can say MVC core tag helpers.models. Oh, I taken in a MVC project. Just a second, yeah. If I take an MVC project, everything is automatically added. I want to show everything manually. Just a minute. Hold on a second. We'll recreate the project once. Let's go with ASP.NET Core empty. Not a model viewer, empty. MVC tag helpers. Yeah, just recreating the project, that's all. I want to go for empty because I want to show you everything manually. Tag helpers. Next button. Create. Yeah, guys. Configure the project to become a MVC application. What to do? I said, go to Solution Explorer, open the program class. And above this line, I ask you to write builder dot. Hold on a second, please. Hold on a second, all of you. Praveen, చెప్పండి. చెప్పండి. నేను రాలేనండి, నాకైతే ఓపిక లేదు. మరి ఆన్లైన్ వాళ్ళకి లేదు, మరి ఏమన్నా ఆన్లైన్ అరేంజ్ చేస్తానంటే చెప్తా. నేను వద్దులేండి అది, ఎందుకంటే వాళ్ళు డేటాబేస్ లో అవన్నీ కావాలి. రేపు ఎప్పుడో వచ్చినప్పుడు ఈవినింగ్ క్లాస్ ఎప్పుడు పెట్టి సాటర్డేస్ పెట్టి తీసుకుంటాను. ఓకే. Builder dot services dot add controller with views. This is the first thing you require to do. Okay, na? Next, below this, I just said you're required to add a few services. Pipeline. In the pipelines, you just require to use the middlewares. What middleware? App dot use static files middleware. And also delete this line. And in the place of that, you're required to write the route. Yeah. Yes, guys, this code. This code. App dot map controller. This code. Fine, done. So we have added up these things here. And afterwards, go to the Solution Explorer and all the required folders. First folder, www root. Second folder, controllers. Third folder, models. And the fourth folder, views. Okay, now add a model class. We'll name it as login model. I need to separately add. This will take map controller route will take the responsibility. Yeah, even if you don't add also it works. Add routing middleware, even if you don't add also it works. When you do this, automatically it works. Now let us write the model class with the 3 attributes. What are the 3 men? Here are the 3 things. Okay, now? Come to controllers. Add one controller. We'll name it as account controller. Account controller. Public view result, login, return view, add a view, login.cshtml. View added, guys. Now, after adding the view, now we need to import the model @model, MVC core tag helpers dot models dot login model. Okay, so MVC core tag helpers dot models dot login model. Yeah, we are just adding. But see, this is our model class here. Every time we just require to go for prefixing the namespace name here. If I don't prefix the namespace name, it's going to be an error. If I don't prefix the namespace name, it's not going to be valid. It will be an error. When I'm trying to type a C login model, I won't get it. So I'm not getting in the list. So compulsory required to prefix the namespace name. We've done it in our MVC classes every day we used to do. And if you recollect, to resolve this problem, you can write like this, @using. If you write like this, again, this is valid. See now the color changes basically. When I remove this line, see now, it's not recognizing. But when I add this line, it's recognized. So every time I require to prefix the namespace name before the model name, or otherwise I require to use import statement using, and on the top of it I'll write. However it is, we write it in this particular process. So in MVC core, guys, they introduced as a concept. What is that? View imports. They introduced a new concept called as view imports. What are the view imports? Without prefixing the namespace name before the model name, or without importing the namespace name on the top in every view. Suppose there are 10 views. In 10 views, without typing all these things, I can import the namespace in a common place. Just like global imports in C#. Just like global imports in C#. Are you guys clear? Guys, can you give me 5 minutes, please? Can you give me 5 minutes? 5 minutes. I'll be speaking again. Just give me 5 minutes. ఏం లేదంట క్లాసు లేదా నాకు చైర్ కావాలి. ఆ చైర్ లో కూర్చుంటే కడుపు పీకేస్తుంది. నాకు కడుపు పీకేస్తుంది అన్న కొంతసేపు. నాకు 11 కల్లా ఇచ్చేస్తాను, అయిపోతుంది. ఆ లోపల వైట్ చైర్ వేసుకోండి. ఉండి ఎందుకని మాకు 11కి అయిపోద్ది, ఇంక చెప్పని తర్వాత. Okay, guys. Yeah, guys. Fine. So, audible? Hello. Okay. Fine, guys. Okay. Stop it. Now, without writing namespace name in every view, without writing the namespace name in every view, they introduced as a concept called as view imports.cshtml. Means under the models folder, under the views folder, we can add the view import just like a view start.cshtml. Remember, in MVC5, we learned about a view start.cshtml. The same way we have view imports.cshtml. Add a view in the views folder, add a view. Just go for Razor view empty. And in this, if you scroll down, you'll be finding up different types of Razor views here. If you scroll down, you'll be finding different types of Razor views here. Watch it here. This is view start here. See the name underscore view start.cshtml. This is view imports underscore view imports.cshtml. It's a new concept. Click on the add button. Now you can write the import statement here now at the rate using MVC core DAG helpers dot models. Write this here. Now, when you come to your view, see now the color changed again here. If I remove this line, it is coming in black color. Means what is the meaning? It's not recognizing. But when I add the file called view imports and I pasted this code here, and now see it is recognizing. So without writing this namespace name before every, say in our MVC5, every day on the top of the view, we used to type the full thing namespace name dot models dot the model name. You can simplify that with the help of view imports. So this is a global imports file for all the views. And if you put it here, that applies to all the views that are present in the views folder. Guys, are you clear? If you put it in the views folder, it applies to all the views in the project. Okay. So this is completely a new thing. Yeah. You can observe here. You can observe here. We are writing @model MVC core tag helpers dot models dot login model. And coming below, we are typing up all the code. Without that, you add a file called view imports and write the import statement here so that in your view, you can write @model login model. Okay, now? Next. I want to install Bootstrap in my project now. I want to install Bootstrap in my project. Okay, we'll install Bootstrap in the project where it should be www root folder. Bootstrap, I want to install in the www root folder. Okay, so you know how to install Bootstrap. I don't require to tell you separately. Either use NuGet or otherwise, other option also shown you client-side libraries. Anything can be used. So manage NuGet packages, search for Bootstrap. Search for Bootstrap. Click on install. By default, see in the www root folder, it added you a folder called CSS and added all the Bootstrap CSS files here. And all the JS files have been added up here. Okay, Bootstrap is ready. Same, I just install Bootstrap. It'll add in www root folder, guys. Don't require to tell anything there. And I just said you two ways to install. One is client-side libraries, and you get package manager, whatever you want, you can just use it. Now, I just wanted to create the login view. The login view I want to create. Okay, I'm writing some HTML code. By head, by body. And guys, have a look. I'm using some Bootstrap code and also yeah, guys, I just created a view. I created a view. So this is the view I created. And to create the view, I used helpers. Watch it. I used strongly typed model helpers to create all the views. Okay. So what I'm using is tag helpers, bootstrap. Let me put bootstrap here because I used some bootstrap classes and all. So open the Solution Explorer, CSS files. Just to drag and drop the bootstrap dot min dot CSS file. Yeah. Just a minute. Wow. It's bringing all these files. Okay. The min.css file. Run. Account. Login. Bootstrap not applied. Why is it coming like this? Why is it writing like this? Okay. Or the folder, guys. In the WW root, we have CSS. We don't have all these things. Still not working. Why? CSS. Yeah, the CSS. Bootstrap.css. HTML ending tag doesn't have an effect on the code, na? Account login. Not applying. What happened? Thing wrong. No need WW root actually. Tilde refers to WW root. And with CSS, bootstrap.c should work. Present here, present. Under bootstrap, it is present. Under bootstrap, bootstrap.min.css is present. Why? Static files middleware we added, na? We added. Static files middleware is added. Not a browser issue. Just a second. Why is it adding all? I don't understand. Should work now at least. Hmm, working. Okay. So this is the form what I created. Style, background hyphen color. Okay. When you're not well, it irritates you a lot. Okay, fine. Got it. Got the output. So I'm able to see the screen. So used Bootstrap. So GAN for creating the things. And to create the user interfaces, what we used here, HTML helpers. HTML helpers and strongly typed HTML helpers. I'm also using anti-forgery token. Remember anti-forgery token? I'm also using anti-forgery token, label for, text box for, password for, checkbox for. Hope you guys are clear. So this is to prove you the same HTML helpers what you learned in MVC5 can be as it is used in MVC core also. This is how we create a form in a MVC5. Now also MVC core also, it is going to be the same process. In ASP.NET MVC also we use the same code. In ASP.NET MVC core also we are core MVC also we are using the same. Okay. But apart from this, now Microsoft has introduced us a new concept called as tag helpers. What is tag helpers? Tag helpers code will be same like tag helpers code will be same like HTML code only. Without this at the rate using HTML.begin forms and all, we can write general HTML code. What is the general HTML code? General HTML code in the sense form by form. Input type is equals to text. Input type is equals to password. Input type is equals to checkbox. Like this, we can just write general HTML coding only. And by using the general HTML code, we can just create our controls now. So how do we do that, sir? Okay, watch it, all of you. I'm removing the code from the begin form to by begin form. Let me delete the code. Normally, if you write HTML code, how do you write a form tag? By form tag. Then you just use a label. And for this label, you're going to give some text, email ID. One text box is input. Type is equals to text. Now, break tag, label, password, by label. Again, input type is equals to password. Sorry guys, we forgot to give IDs and names. ID is equals to what to give. The general ID should be our model property name only, na? Email, password and all. Email. Next, name is equals to email. ID is equals to password. Name is equals to password. Sorry guys, here also not input type text. Input type is email only. Input type is email. Again, a break tag. Then we go for using checkbox. Input type is equals to checkbox. ID is equals to, what is the model property name? Remember me. Name is equals to, remember me. Next, label. Remember me. Remember me, stay signed in. Something I just put. Okay, remember me. Whatever it is. Afterwards, input type is equals to submit. Value is equals to login. Input type is equals to reset. Value is equals to reset. This is general HTML code, correct? Na? That also works here. I did not apply Bootstrap. Okay. Just forgot to apply the Bootstrap. Okay, I will apply the Bootstrap. That also will work. So these two options are available here also. Tell me one thing. Writing HTML code is easier. Writing tag helpers is easier. Waiting for your answer, guys. Sorry. HTML code is easier. HTML helpers is easier. Not tag helpers. HTML code is easier. HTML helpers is easier. HTML code. Why helpers came for you? HTML code is only easy, not helpers. Why did you find HTML helpers easy? I don't understand. When you write HTML helpers, we have a lot of complication, man. How do you write a form tag? If you want to write a form tag, @using HTML.begin form, we just required to write a label for a text box for writing this. If a bootstrap has to be applied, this is how you apply the bootstrap. A little bit lengthy process. Complex, really, this is complex. Frankly speaking, HTML code is only easy. And second thing is, tomorrow in the real time, you are a .NET developer, but you are not good in UI designing. You're not good in UI designing. For UI designing, you'll be having separate teams in the company. for UI designing will be having separate teams in the company. Okay. When you people are having separate teams in the company for UI designing, what will be the problem, What is the problem is HTML, the problem will be like UI designers are not aware of MVC. A UI designer is not aware of MVC. Am I right or wrong? UI designer is not aware of MVC. When UI designer is not aware of MVC, how does he write the code? He can't write the code. So what is the complication? UI designer writes HTML code. And after UI designer writes HTML code, you people required to convert that code into HTML helpers. So understand, UI designers will write HTML code and you people required to convert that code into HTML helpers now. Complication only now. So to avoid this particular problem, they introduced us the concept called as tag helpers. So what is this tag helpers? Okay, hold on a second. First, UI designer has designed the UI and given to you in HTML like this. UI designer has designed the UI and given to you in HTML code, regular HTML code. Okay, just a minute, all of you. Just a minute. Or is it UI designers are going to write the HTML code and give to you? One label here. Carefully watch. Label is email, password, remember me. So HTML developer using HTML has written this code for you. Okay, now is HTML code. Who written this code? Who writes this code? Guys, answer, man. UI designer. Perfect. UI designer writes this code. Okay. The UI designer is telling what is the action attribute, nothing. Once the UI designers are names are not there, nothing is there. Yes, nothing is there. Because I'm not good with bootstraps and all. I'm not good with bootstrap and all. I asked my UI designer to design it now. I'm not good with bootstrap. Yeah, that's why I asked my UI designer to design it. UI designer has designed and given to me. Now I'm going to add some extra attributes in my code now. What? We are provided with some special attributes, man. We are provided with some special attributes. If I use those special attributes, now HTML controls are going to become tag helpers. If I use some special attributes, the HTML helpers are going to now become tag helpers. And to use those attributes, first we require to import one namespace. In the view imports.cshtml, we require to import one namespace first. Okay, one namespace has to be imported. How, sir? How to use? Add tag helper. Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.MVC.tag helper. This is the namespace under which all the tag helpers are available. We should import this namespace. Now, write down. You'll be finding some special attributes. Watch it, huh? ASP. Now, you're getting some, some special attributes all starting with ASPC. If I go here, remove this line, come back. Not coming, see? Yes or not? And once I come here, add this, come back here, watch, ASP hyphen controller is equals to, you can tell your controller name. Which controller? Account controller. ASP hyphen action is equals to, what is the action method name, guys? The action method name is login. Controller name is account, action method name is login. Sir, what about the method? Default is post only. Default is post. Okay. Now, here we are using label. Okay, label. Email is what you are showing. No, actually the model property name can be used here. Label, here also, ASP-for. What is the model property you want to bind with? I want to bind with the model property email. I want to bind with the model property email, here also. ASP-for. The model property is email. I don't require to give an ID. I don't require to give a name, nothing. Automatically they're generated. Okay, yeah. Let me copy the same. Paste here. What is it? Password. Password. Remember me. This is how you are going to use tag helpers. To differentiate between normal controls and tag helpers, wherever tag helpers are used, the colors are changed, see? Now run your screen, guys. So what is the meaning, You have minimum knowledge of HTML. You have minimum knowledge of HTML. Oh God. Label not coming. Oh, sorry. Label compulsory should have a by label. Watchman. Right click. Go to view page source. Observe. Observe all of you. Form. It is converting everything into HTML format. See, method is post. See, creating a label for input. Type is equals to email. ID is equals to email. Name is equals to email. Value is equals to empty string. Next year also. ID is equals to name is equals to. Converting everything into HTML format. See. And also, I did not use anti-forgery token now. Did I? Did I use an anti-forgery token, guys? Did I use an anti-forgery token? But that service is free now. That service is free now. You can observe all of you. Anti-forgery token is also added. This is the specialty of tag helpers. Now tell me, using HTML controls is easy, or HTML helpers or strongly typed helpers is easy, or tag helpers is easy? Basic general HTML knowledge is enough now. Why tag helpers are easy? Because I don't require to write ID equal to name is equals to. All these things are also not required. See how simple the code became. You did not write ID is equals to. You did not write name is equals to. All these things you did not write. You used a simple attribute. What is that attribute? ASP_FUR. Using this, what are you doing? You're binding the model property there. That's all. Am I clear, guys? So, tag helpers are basically classes. Tag helpers are basically classes. Yes, these are classes. There is a class called as form tag helper. There is a class called as form tag helper. That class comes into action when I use these special attributes. When I use these special attributes, that class comes into action. And what it does, that class comes into action. And what is it going to do? It is going to, sorry, man. Yeah, that class comes into action. And what is it going to do? It is going to generate you. It is going to generate you all the required. It is going to generate you all the required. It's going to render you, not generate. It is going to render you HTML code. Now also rendering. But what is that? When I use these attributes, that class comes into picture. Which class? Form tag helper. Same way, there is a class called label tag helper. The label tag helper comes into picture when I use the attribute ASP_FUR. Input tag helper. All tag helper classes are predefined, man. Everything comes into picture when we use the special attributes. If I don't use these attributes, all of you observe, I will remove this line, ASP for. By default, it will create you what? Text box. Run and see. And observe all of you. It's simply written input class is equals to, but it did not generate type of ID, name, all are not generated here. You need to type everything manually. Did you catch my point? But once I use this attribute, I'm done. One attribute, all code gets generated automatically. See there. Everything is generated. If there is any error, see, validations are also there. If there is an error, it will show you. The email ID field is not a valid email address. Every of this code is auto-rendered. So this is what the new concept is. So for creating views here, we use tag helpers. No more HTML helpers or strongly typed HTML helpers. So the advantage, tomorrow UI designer writes HTML code and give to you. You can easily convert that into tag helpers. Did you catch my point? UI designers will write off the HTML code and give you guys the basic HTML code. They will write off stylings and all they'll do. What you will do now? You will simply go and add the tag helper attributes now and easily convert this into HTML helper now. Hope I am clear, all of you. Okay, na? Fine, guys. Mostly, yeah, we'll continue in the next session. Mostly tomorrow also I may not be coming. I will be online class only. I'll be taking online only. Okay. Okay, guys. I'll be back on Monday to the classrooms. Tomorrow also I'll be online. Okay. Have a nice day. We'll meet on Monday.